Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently working towards getting these missions complete. We've got a ways to go on them. We need 3 or more cities in the province of Moon, and we are absolutely working on that, but it's going to take a lot of political influence. Now, there's apparently a civil war brewing up here. I don't recall that being the case when we exited the game last time, but I do remember Imperator tends to do that when you restart the game. We'll see if they continue to be disloyal here, but they likely will. I'm just keeping an eye on it for now. We'll give it a month tick here. Okay, yep. So we're going to need to do something about this for sure. Let's do something about this eventually. So this guy's got 2 power base, 2 power base, 2 power base, 3 power base, 37 power base. Okay, so this guy is much more like what we need to deal with. So we'll give him free hands, and that actually fully solves the problem. Looks good. No problem there. We didn't have to spend any of our political influence, which is good, because we need like 72? 75? Something like that, political influence. I think it's 75. So that's good. We're going to need to get that in order to settle Moon, because we need 2 additional cities. Then we're going to need to, of course, develop Moon, which will happen kind of instantly, but we'll need to get these free building slots dealt with, so that's okay. We're making 17 gold per month right now. I want to head down to, like, Thashanat and take a quick look at what we've got going on here. So currently, we should get rid of these commercial districts and this forum. And let's put in, instead, tax offices. So I'm going to put in a tax office here. I'm going to get rid of these other 2 commercial districts, and we're going to put in 2 additional tax offices. That looks good. Now, we've got this city here. This produces glass, and we might want to have this be a slave city as well. I feel like we're doing quasi-okay with manpower right now, and we're definitely capped on our research efficiency. So that seems reasonably good for the moment. So I think we should probably, there's already a tax office here. We should probably drop the 2 commercial districts here. But for the moment, we don't really have the cash to build the foundry and the mill. That's going to be 307 gold and 153 gold for each of those. So that's going to be a fair amount of cash. So for the moment, this will do for right now. And we're just saving up political influence for the moment, but we're going to need to build out the buildings here, right? This is currently a farming settlement, and that's going to just disappear, I believe. I believe that's the way that's going to work. Now, we may want to consider building, like, slave estates basically everywhere that doesn't have any buildings. That will increase the pop growth and the pop capacity and the slave output and the slave desired ratio as well. So the slave output plus 40% is pretty good. That would definitely be helpful for us. We may want to see if we can build any... I don't think we can build any farming settlements, mines, or enclosures first. If we can, that would be great, but maxing out our slave estates would probably not be bad. That would produce a fair amount of additional cash, most likely. So that's another thing that we might want to consider doing economically as we're waiting on this. So we've got a number of cities, right? We've got... Oh, hello. Military modernization. Interesting. So we would gain 5 aggressive expansion, can now switch to and from the final law in the military reforms category. So the interesting thing about this is if we go into our laws and go into military reforms, military modernization normally requires cohorts. When activated, we'll be able to raise an unrestricted number of legions. So that's really interesting. And it doesn't really cost us all that much. I mean, it's 10 years of minus 10% pop happiness and minus 25% citizen output, but that's not too bad. I think we absolutely do this. So that puts us on military modernization. Now, we don't have cohorts. Can we start putting together a legion? Actually, yes. And we would want to do that. So what would we want this legion to look like? Well, we have a lot of bonuses to our light infantry, but I don't want light infantry. We might want to consider using war elephants as opposed to heavy cavalry. So like 2 units of war elephants. Oh, this is awkward. And then beyond that, I'm thinking it would be something very basic. We would just use like a backline of heavy infantry and a front line of archers and use these guys as flankers. So this is going to be pretty expensive right off the bat, and that's fine. Let's go to like 4. 4 is too much. Okay, let's go 2 and 2. And we're going to bump that up over time. So that's fine. We'll create this legion. That's at 6 of 18. Fantastic. And we're going to want to further increase this, right? So we now have these guys as a professional fighting force. Cool. We were not necessarily anticipating getting that. So I'm not going to raise any further legions here. These are not very high, and that's absolutely fine. So we probably want these guys to be drilling. They do have the increased loyalty gain chance, but as long as we keep this guy loyal, it's reasonably fine. So we're going to get those drilling for the time being, and we definitely do want to expand this out, right? So I'm thinking war elephants, how exactly do they compare with heavy infantry? Or rather, with heavy cavalry. So heavy cavalry, that is not actually telling us how that compares. Okay. So we can see here that they do damage versus axemen. They have reduced damage against pikemen. However, our heavy infantry do plus 10% versus spearmen, which isn't pikemen. Noted. Slingers, yeah, so we're bad against horse archers with our war elephants and pikemen specifically. However, that's not that big of a deal because horse archers are weak to heavy infantry, and archers can deal with pike. Well, they're not that great against pikemen, but this should be reasonably well balanced to be like this. We should probably have at least one supply train. How many supply trains do we want overall? I am thinking one supply train for now and one unit of engineers. So something like this to improve our siege. So how many subunits is this? Well, this is 8. This is not enough to begin working on roads. I would like to begin working on roads, but cash is going to be a concern. There are barbarians up over here. I get that's 14,000. Okay, that's a lot of barbarians. Well, let's have these guys stop drilling. We're going to embark them, and we're going to head on northward. I think we'll end up somewhere around here. Okay, so this is going to need to have a fair amount more forces, but we'll just slowly bring that up over time. Currently, the Senate is very not supporting us. That's okay. Our population happiness is going to be pretty low too, which is dropping our income. Also dropping our income is our military costs. These guys are expensive, and that is understood. So that's reasonably fine for now. Checking in down over here, yeah, we can see that we are gaining 0.03 tax income. I don't feel like that's accurate, but okay. I mean, we've only got 9 pops here, maybe, and no slaves, so maybe that is accurate. That'll take some time to come online. So obviously, these guys are big, right? There's a lot of barbarians there. So we're going to hop in over here. I would like to further increase the size of this. I'm currently leaning towards 1 supply train and 1 engineer for every 10 units. So that would mean that we would not be up to 2 of each yet. So let's just add in, those are pikemen there, yeah. Let's add in some heavy infantry. We may want to add in a couple units of pikemen to help with cavalry. Yes, I think that does make sense. So let's add, let's make this be like even amounts between heavy infantry and pikemen, or maybe like a 2-to-1 ratio. So 1 unit of pikemen and then 1 unit of archer. We want to have the same front line here, right? So that's 26 gold right there. Then we add a cohort of heavy infantry and a cohort of pikemen. That puts us at 60 gold. So we don't have enough archers here, but let's go ahead and confirm that. That is all the gold that we have right now. So this is up to 6k units, and they're going to be stronger than these guys, for sure. But let's walk up over here. Yeah, I think we're going to keep the pikemen and the heavy infantry to a 2-to-1 ratio there. That seems reasonably fine. So the secondary cohorts are chariots. This is very odd. We're going to have war elephants on the flanks, and we're going to have heavy infantry and pikemen in the secondary cohorts. So when we don't have pikemen here, Like, I want archers in the primary cohort, and then heavy infantry in the secondary cohort. The pikemen are just kind of there? I don't know. So what sort of tactic do we want to use here? Well, it looks like shock action is indeed the best option for the moment. We'll let the morale regenerate. We have a significant numerical disadvantage here. We'll see how that ends up going. We definitely need to add in additional units here. There's no doubt about that. But let's just make our way on over. This has become a city right up over here, and we of course need to start filling this in with buildings. So that's reasonably fine. We're probably going to make this be a slave city, and that's okay for the moment. But right now, our cash is kind of earmarked for getting this legion online. So we're going to head in over this way. I'm expecting this to go pretty poorly if we actually attack here. Let's see what the estimation is. Our side might lose. Yeah, they have a lot of archers. Our war elephants will be very good against those archers, but I am not convinced that we have sufficient war elephants for that. Let's consider tossing in, well, we have currently, this is 3-to-2 ratio. So we would need an additional heavy infantry cohort. And then we would need to have, how many archers? Well, this would be up to 6. So we would need 1, 2, and 3 units of archers. So we'll bring those in. And we're currently out of manpower. So that is understood. Let's put these guys into unit reorg for right now. We'll let them sit here for a month or so. I see them walking down this way. That is absolutely fine. So I'm going to take them out of unit reorg, and we're going to walk back down over here. Unit reorg is very expensive. You can see it's costing us like 6 per month. That's understood. So we're going to walk in over here. Our morale is not super high, but we will have another morale bump. Let's see what this looks like now. We're not getting any preview. Okay, there we go. It's unclear at this point which side might win. Okay. We don't have 26 archers. We have 6 archers. Our side, 2, 6 archers. I don't know why it's having that 2 there. I guess it's because of the pikemen. It's trying to say pikemen, but pikemen don't exist. Okay, sure. That's fine. So our pikemen are going to counter their cavalry and maybe their chariots. Yes, they counter their chariots as well. The archers are going to pretty heavily counter their archers, perhaps. It's kind of even. It should be, anyway. Yeah, they're very good against light infantry, supply train. We're doing okay here. We're definitely doing okay. Numbers aren't great. This roll looks like it was bad. 1-3. Yeah, that's a pretty bad roll. 3-6. That's a bad roll as well. So this is mediocre. 1-1. We're rolling very, very awkwardly. We're probably going to... That's a 6-5. That's not a good enough roll. Okay, we're going to retreat. What? We were immediately caught? And stack wiped? That's not how that works. We retreated, and they immediately fought us again. We were black flagged going back to here. That is definitely not how that's supposed to work. Okay, well, we just lost a whole lot. That's interesting. That should not have happened. That is definitely not how this works. So what do we want to do about it? Well, we could replenish our manpower that we lost from that, or we could just say, you know what? It's a setback. And that's what I'm leaning towards doing. We could hire these mercs down here, just let these guys run amok for right now, or we could pay them off. The Senate disapproves of that, though, so that's not an option. But yeah, they just absolutely stack wiped us. They shouldn't have, but they did. So we'll have to recreate all of this, and that will be expensive in terms of manpower, for sure. Untiring Devotion is giving us some stability, which is nice, but we are having that civil war brewing again. What do we got here? 2 power base, 2 power base, 2 power base, 3 power base, this guy, 39. We're going to give him free hands. That seems fine for the moment. We get a civic perk here, and the territory of Panay would gain a forum. I'm going to take the national population growth. That'll be fine for now. These guys actually recovered some of their units. That's noted. Okay. So they're going to run amok there. That was definitely a bug. So I think that we have to raise up our levies at this point. So this is only going to be 10k. That's understood. That's because we have the Legion existing. It is a thing that exists. Now they're going to attack down over here. That's absolutely understood. That was a problem for sure. And it's going to be difficult to recover from. We will recover from it, to be clear. But that was a bug. 100% that was a bug. There's absolutely no way that they should have been able to attack us while we were retreating. Like, we retreated and then instantly fought in the same territory. That is not how this works. So, do we want to do anything about it? No, because I think it's good to have a setback now and then, but it was 100% a bug. So we're going to come in over here and pick up our levy troops. There we go. And we're going to sail on up over this way. We're going to need to deal with these barbs first, and then we're going to go up and deal with these guys. They are a bit of a problem, to be sure. And for the moment, I'm not going to be upgrading any of these cities because they're rampaging up here right now. So there's not too much to be done there for the moment. Yeah, that was definitely wild. That's not the way that that works. No doubt about that. So they're at 9.6k. These guys are probably going to cease to exist pretty quickly. There's a scandal. We'll have him flogged. Okay, we're going to head up over... Yeah, this is still the correct location to be going. And we'll arrive up here pretty shortly. And then we'll go deal with these guys. Because they are a problem. No doubt about it. So we're going to disembark up over here, and we'll fight them there. No issues. As soon as they disembark, I want our navy to go back to our capital. Eventually we'll get there. Okay, there we go. So these barbarians are stack wiped. Now we're going to head up this way and see if we can fight these. Numbers are similar, but actually they're going off into the enemy territory there. Okay, we're going to head up over this way, see if we can see what they're doing. They might come back. Worst case scenario, we're going to come take this back. Interesting that they're not assaulting this. Now they're on their way back. They must have gotten paid off? No, apparently not. We have a new ruler, and that's fine. We need somebody over here. Okay, that looks good. Civil War brewing again here, and 22 power base is reasonable. We'll give free hands. That'll be fine for now. Okay, and upward we head. We've got a lot of light infantry here. We've got a couple of units of heavy infantry. It's going to be awkward for us. We're not going to immediately catch these guys. So we're going to need to head down into, like, Dembach. That's fine. We'll see what they decide to do here. I'm not convinced that we end up winning this, for the record. I'm not convinced we end up winning this fight. They have indeed been paid. Okay. So they're going to siege here, and we're going to see about fighting this. What are we on? We're on shock action. That is probably the best that we can do. Well, yeah, it's likely that our side will win, at least with the shock action for sure. So we have a new invention here, and we were making our way down towards professional training. That does give us the 5% discipline, so I'm going to grab that either way. That's okay. And then our research efficiency isn't high, but that's because our levy is raised. Okay, so we're winning this fight, although it's closer than I would like. For sure. And they're going to retreat out over here. We're going to look to immediately stack wipe them there. That will happen before the month kick, which is good. That did not stack wipe. We're going to try to do it again. There's a risk of rebellion. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, maybe we can stack wipe them here? No. We're going to continue to chase them down here. Eventually, we'll get a stack wipe on them. There we go. That's a stack wipe. And now I want to put down our levies. There we go. That's okay. Now, military tradition. What do we want to grab here? Well, there is this national manpower plus 5%, which that seems pretty good. We need manpower right now. So we'll grab that. There are absolutely disloyal provinces. And this province here, I want to switch over. I know this is going to cost political power, but I want to put this on harsh treatment. And what else do we have? So we've got these guys down over here. Let's put that on harsh treatment for the moment. And then these guys over here, we can put on harsh treatment for the moment. And then these up over here, harsh treatment for the moment. Okay. So that did eat up a lot of our political power. We do want to start upgrading our city here. So we can get started on that as soon as we have the political influence. Our ruler corruption is reducing our political influence gain, which is understood. And manpower is going to be a significant issue for us for a little bit here. Okay, we're no longer importing a bunch of things. That is fine. So we have some disloyalty in our provinces. That's understood. Manpower is regenerating at the rate of 72 a month, so that's not too bad. It's doing okay, I would say. So let's head down over here and get this started upgrading into a city. As soon as we have the political influence, which will be on this month's tick. Okay. There we go. We can call down an omen, and I think provincial loyalty is honestly the way to go here. So we'll boost up that provincial loyalty a little bit. This is going down, up, up, down, and down. Noted. For now, that's fine. I want to put this cash into getting our legion replenished. We need to get this back. Despite the bug, we need to get it back. So for the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for 2 cohorts of pikemen and 4 cohorts of heavy infantry. Now, that's 3,000 manpower. So we're going to have to dial that back a bit. Even that's 1,500, right? So we're going to have to dial it back to just this for right now. That's okay. We're going to be buffing this up. So I want these to be war elephants over here, but we can't change that for the moment. No, we don't care about them or their opinion of us. And that made somebody disloyal. Okay, sure. We need somebody in the Navy, and this is a scorned family, so we'll do that for now. He was disloyal, but then he became loyal. That seems good. 40% is disloyal right now? Oh my, okay. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 42. This guy became our rival. He's near death, so that's probably not really an issue. And he's the only one that's actually a problem. Okay. Let's hope that that's not a real problem. That's the overall concept there. I do want to come up over here and start constructing up here, but the province is disloyal, so we can't do that for now. We can avoid or we can rather get a new invention. And what I want to do is make our way down towards embracing philosophy. So we're going to grab encourage exploration. And the mandated record keeping is going to be important. That said, we are not maxing out our research at this moment, and this is probably due to happiness. Okay, somebody died. We need a new person. There's a scorned family, and you'll do. Okay, 21%. So that's not too bad. And that's even with this guy. He was near death, right? Yeah, that's even with this guy. This looks good. So that looks absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. We're going to need to continue to work on contributing to our legion. And for now, we're going to put in a cohort of archers. There we go. That allows us to put archers in the front line. And in the back line, we want heavy infantry. We're going to have elephants in the flanks. We just need to rebuild what we had before. And it's very, very awkward that we got stack wiped like that. It was absolutely a bug, but whatever. We'll take it. We'll just deal with it. We lose 50 gold? Okay. That's certainly not ideal, but it's fine. So our tyranny is dropping over time. That will reduce the threshold for civil war as well. We're not very far away from that threshold. So that seems decent. I want to have our cohort down here drilling, for sure. So we'll start working on that, and we're going to need to boost up our manpower, right? So over here in Barris, we are producing some amount of manpower. We can continue to boost this up with our conscription camps. We are definitely lacking, I think, in our number of people here. It's not phenomenal. We could build a court of law, but I don't think that's the way to go. I'm going to max this out. And then over here, we can absolutely max out our libraries. And up this direction, we can add an additional library in as well. Oh, wait, hang on. This should be an academy. There we go. That looks good. A minor addendum. This is stability for political influence. Not this time, perhaps. Okay. So it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to rebuild our legion here. This guy, the disloyal guy, died, and that is phenomenal. We're going to put in a new researcher here. This guy is scorned. We're going to put him in. He's not the best at the job, but he'll do for now. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.